This video is going to have a look at global warming, how it occurs and the impact that it's having on our planet, and what we can do about it. The first thing it's important to know is what a greenhouse gas is. A greenhouse gas is any gas that traps in heat, like in a greenhouse. The three main examples that you need to know for the exam are carbon dioxide, CO2, water vapour and methane. Now you'll notice that these two are the products of complete combustion, and this one down here is something that comes from cattle breeding. So when you've got lots of cattle in the field, they give off methane when it comes out their backsides. So what happens when these gases are given off into the atmosphere is they get trapped in the atmosphere, and then the sun's rays come down. Normally they come down, bounce off the earth and bounce back out. Some of it's kept in the earth to keep the earth warm, and some of it's lost into space. The more and more of these greenhouse gases you've got though, it absorbs the heat, which means that this heat stays in the atmosphere, so the atmosphere starts to get warmer. So the more and more carbon dioxide we're putting into the atmosphere, the more and more of these gases are there, the more and more of these gases, the more and more heat gets trapped, and therefore the average temperature of the globe, of the earth, starts to increase. Now the impact this is having is it's melting the ice caps. It's going to be too warm for the polar bears, they're going to lose their camouflage, and so on. And that's a lot of the stuff that you've done in biology. What we need to know about now is what we're doing about to prevent it. So there are two ways that we can reduce the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. The first one is iron seeding. Now, in our oceans we have these small things called phytoplankton. Now, what they do is they take in carbon dioxide, they photosynthesize and produce oxygen. So one of the ideas of scientists is iron seeding. When you put iron into the oceans, this helps the phytoplankton to grow. The more phytoplankton there are, the more photosynthesis, the more photosynthesis means less carbon dioxide and more oxygen, which is great. The only major issue with that is we can't make sure what phytoplankton grow, and there can be some that are toxic. The second one is to take our carbon dioxide and turn them into hydrocarbons. Now we've been experimenting with lots of different ways. One of the main ones is use pressure, heat and a catalyst, and what that can do is that can turn that into our shorter chained alkanes and alkenes. The problem with this is it takes a lot of energy to do that, so you're having to use fossil fuels in the first place, which is releasing carbon dioxide, to turn the carbon dioxide back into these fuels. It's quite simple to make the short chained alkanes, but when we talk about the really long length ones used to make petrol, the issue with that is it's very, very difficult to make it. Therefore it needs a lot of pressure, a lot of heat and a lot of your catalyst, and at the moment a lot of people say that's not cost effective. But if we could do this and use green energy, so wind, turbine, solar energy, to convert it, then that would reduce the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And just to define a little bit, the three main ways that we're affecting the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. The first way is deforestation. By cutting down the trees, what we're doing is reducing the amount of photosynthesis, so there's less oxygen going out to the atmosphere, and there's more carbon dioxide because there's less trees to take them in. Especially if, to get rid of this wood, we then burn it, because not only are we reducing the amount of things that can take in the carbon dioxide, we're adding more CO2 by burning it. The second one is combustion. Burning our fossil fuels is adding carbon dioxide and water vapour. So that could be driving cars, power plants, and so on. Then the final one is respiration. Now this can be from microorganisms that are breaking down and decaying dead animals and plants, or it could be just us breathing in and breathing out. The more humans there are, the more oxygen we're taking in, and the more carbon dioxide we're giving out. Okay, that should be everything for global warming. If you're not sure, check the GCSE Bite Size website or come and ask me for help.